Hello my dudes, dudettes, and everything in between. Welcome back to FFXIV Games, and today we're going to be continuing on with our Let's Play of Final Fantasy XIV. We're going to be moving on with the Crystal Tower story. If you don't remember where we were, we just got approached by these two people who are claiming to be from the students of Aldessian to help us. Well, if it isn't Clive, eager to enter Cypress Tower and kill everything in sight? Yes, we really are, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard though, the place is locked up, tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather, no going, for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. Works for me. Ah, some old faces to live the spirit, and a couple new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Allag, sent here by our friends of Aldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. It is our hope that we can be of some small assistance. Your attire is ought to go by. Your assistance should be invaluable indeed. I agree, they got some nice looking clothes. Look at that. Nice. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Cypress Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door and imposing gate you see here. Problem is, we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a magic cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman respected. Allagan royalty by the judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like it's not, it is purely decorative. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed. Why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? I don't think any of us expected that to happen. It's like, to making sure we're recording. Still paranoid. Seven Hells, what is this? What did you do? What? What are you? Wow, rude much? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Is virtue guarded by gates impregnable only to those of royal blood, answerable? Exactly as passed down through the legend, I am delighted to see. Nero. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero? You're still alive? Garland, Garland. If I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? Point. If you are suspicious of my intent, it is only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a good gesture of will, I shall share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower has the symbol of ancient Alex's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. And according to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allagan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty. Living keys born of Allagan ingenuity. They're keyblades. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? Oh, they're not even... they're clones? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Why are you looking at me? Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An Allagan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Yeah, I still don't trust him as far as I can throw him. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader at Rambos may wish to be present. Yeah, a lot of cutscenes gonna be going on right now. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldessian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allagan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what is it that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allagan history. Pray bear with us. The Allagan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In the glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of Allagan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allagan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Allag to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the alien empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. A founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Zandel. None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga. Historical texts mention the reign of two Allagan emperors named Jande. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike, to think that the two were in fact one and the same. Xander returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he would have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allagan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xande turned his sights toward a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness his power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness? Again? Seven hells, what is it with this? What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? I cannot speak. Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Oh, great. Alas, Emperor Xande is very much alive, within Cypress Tower. He still abides his ambition, burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high, it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, this miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blink of an eye, the almighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xande's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, what the Emperor included, was placed into a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth, its descent triggered the seventh umbral calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. In that moment, Emperor Xande awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Xande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Unei and Doga. Fearing that what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xande, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Clivejet, we are confident that we can end Xande's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I think that's how you say it. I see now why you knew about the students of Aldessian among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So what will we do, Clive? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. Yeah, no kidding. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allagan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of Allagan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjugating the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Unei and Doga, living, breathing Allagans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing the Cypress Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. I see what you did there. Clive, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Xande himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Cypress Tower from the outside world. To work then. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allagan Eye, you called it, but to us, it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. You are doubtless impatient to learn the truth. Pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I am quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Cypress Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zande himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. Cypress Tower now accessible. Dope. Alright, so the next alliance raid is unlocked. Unfortunately, I do not think I will have the time to do it because I think there's going to be like a long cutscene afterwards, and I really don't want to have the chance of running it too long because Cypress Tower is the shortest alliance raid in the entire game right now. It's just so easy, and we can go through it so quickly. That's not the problem. It's just I don't want to cut off the video at a bad time or try and make it too long. So we're just going to work on the main story for a little bit. And in all honesty, the only thing I think main story-wise that we are is we just settled into Rising Stones. I think that's where we left off. It's been a little while since I've done the main story. Alright, let's go in. Has a new assignment for us. Okay. Truly, there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifest were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. Primals? The Brass Blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone with the concern is selling crystals for profit. Alas, they have as yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated with their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. If there is even a possibility that the theft acts not out of self-interest, but in the service to a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the Blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with your Stola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope that our fears prove unfounded when you do. Okie dokie. So now we're having to deal with crystal shipments being stolen yet again. Go figure that out. Ah, you Stola, my baby. Ah, Clive, your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the Brass Blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves have taken great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might better be spent in conversation with Fufulapa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. Hello, potato. Oh, hello there, Clive. Or, hello there, Clive, was it? Yashola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it'd be greater than... Ah, never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allagan Sunway. The cart bolted off towards eastern Danelon, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. A speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do have a foothold in eastern Danelon. And what of their cargo? Do they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving a report any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could... Did you miss me, friends? I am back, but I fear I've become bearing disappointing news. Or on second thought, perhaps it's good news after all. Thancred, where have you been off to? I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. And would you believe it? I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends and the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found. That's so. Alas, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. We should reassess our options as well. Come with us, Clive. Okay. I think they cut that out. I think that's a couple missions they cut out, I'm not sure. Against all expectation, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motive were profit, why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about who it might be, I shall inform Yorianje of our progress, or lack thereof.
Now then. Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Oh, very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
Any bright ideas? No? Well then, for want of better suggestion, I say we try picking Fupulapa's brain again. Who knows? If we work together, we may find something of use nestled away within it. I think he's saying it Fufulapa's a airhead. Oh, but it is good to see you return. I have given some thought to the matter, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself, Fufulapa. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there's someone among our own rank conspiring with them? Excuse me. A traitor in our own midst? It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well founded, Fufulapa. Fufulupa? Indeed, if, for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. Ah, but a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation? They have not, but neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let us say, a lone Miko miner traveling without escort so as not to attract undue attention. The who? Ah, I see. Yes, the concern may well elect to do that, but to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way, mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley. A fine spot for a rest, would you not agree, Clive? Alas, the role of the Miko miner is taken, so you will lie in wait to the north, and I will do the same to the south. What if I want to play dress up? Forgive me, friends, but I have received new orders, and I must inform my men at once. I love how they're trying to act like so cute, like, oh, maybe if we did this, we gotta be like secret covert. No, just do it. Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement. Okay. That was easy. Stubborn to the last, as expected. You are unharmed. Yeah, that look actually kind of suits you, Y'shtola. A gang of sea wolves, thieves, and an Enelon, no less. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Sea wolves? All of them? Aye, and all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you were wondering. Our thieves are a long way from home. I'm just like, what are y'all thinking? Ankrid, if you would be so good as to attend to outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. Fufulupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. Okay. On behalf of the Brass Blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. Ah, but we need not have been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? Then by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with this fellow in private. No. I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of Brass Blades, dispatched to detain him, and made good his escape. Oh, for the love of... How did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling the summoners we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? No, he was quite strong. A sea wolf. Leminson born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. I see. Pray keep me apprised of any developments. Yes, he is standing next to me. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed, or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? You might try to look a little disappointed, or do you mean to give me another one of... Oh, blah blah, whatever. Alrighty. And for some reason my camera has been acting up. But thankfully that's the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see y'all next time.